Coming up on FYI, a farm helping keep pupils in school, one of the world's fastest growing sports, and the sisters who started their own business. But first, while many of us are back at school, did you know that loads aren't? The number of people suspended or excluded has risen by a fifth in England. Recent government figures show that last year there was a record 787,000 suspensions. That's nearly 1 in every 10 pupils temporarily sent home. And there were 9,400 exclusions. So what's being done to help pupils stay in education? Well, Maya visited a unique place that is helping kids achieve their full potential at school.
This is Jamie's Farm, a charity that's helping kids who face challenges at school, whether it's because of behaviour, low self-esteem, or they just need some time out to reset.
They spend a week living on a working farm like this one, but it's no holiday. The group have to help run the place.
I'm meeting some of the kids who are staying here. I want to find out if mucking out animals and cooking meals can help improve their chances of getting a brilliant education.
What would you say was the main reason you wanted to come here?
I'd get 5 days away from school. And I didn't know that I would have to do lots of work. I thought it would just be like quick retreat, just chill.
I've never been to like the English countryside properly before. First I thought like, oh, this might be like a little boring.
Since I have ADHD, it's hard for me to focus. I'll start getting distracted, talking to my friends. And that's what usually ends me getting in trouble and getting sent out of the classroom.
One important job is chopping wood for the boiler that provides all the hot water for the farm.
Doing the wood chopping has really helped me like focus on the task at hand and get better at concentrating and everything.
But don't try this at home. Jobs like this are done with the support from the team who run the farm.
What are some of the challenges that some of the kids coming here face?
So I guess a lot of the kids are really struggling to engage in school. We step in at a point where children might be heading down quite a negative route. You see the changes from the start of the week where people arrive and they're saying, oh, this is smelly, I don't want to be here, I don't want to go on long walks, I don't want to eat this food, through to the end of the week where the kids have had a great week.
And the impact on the pupils is massive. 6 months after their visit, 63% reported improved mental health. 64% of pupils previously at risk of being kicked out of school are no longer at risk of exclusion.
So do you think going back to school, do you reckon it will have changed much? Or?
I think it'll get me to be a bit more confident and maybe I'll be able to speak up more in class because usually I just sit there, kind of do nothing and only answer like when the teacher asks me something.
So what would you say to people who had a chance to come here?
I'll tell them like to do it because I think doing that strengthens your confidence and bravery, because when I first came here I would never touched a cow, never touched a pig, and now I've been so close to all the animals and it's a really good experience.
Thanks guys. Now, as a new school year is well and truly underway, First News, the UK's newspaper for kids, is urging us all to look up instead of down at our phones, to stay safe when crossing roads. The number of children who are involved in pedestrian road accidents is pretty worrying. Last year, 4,577 children were hurt when hit by cars while crossing UK streets. Tragically, 1,340 of those were either killed or left with serious, life-changing injuries. That's like a class of 26 children every week. Experts say the largest number of child pedestrian injuries take place between 8 AM and 9 AM and between 3 PM and 7 PM on the way to or from school. We've got loads more info on our website. Just go to first.news/FYI, where your teachers can download a free road safety assembly pack, including our FYI film all about it. And remember, if you want to hear about other news stories that matter to you, you or your teacher can start your own FYI news club in your school. Another thing we do every week on FYI is look out for possible fake news reports. Can you work out if this next story is fake news or fact? We spotted reports that show donkeys in Italy were seen wearing striped socks, apparently to protect them from biting insects. But is that true? We'll let you know later in the show. Have you heard of Padel? Well, it's a sport that's becoming more and more popular with young people. And we thought who better to tell us more than the UK's junior #1 paddle players. Check them out.
Hi, my name's Liam.
And I'm Chloe.
And we play paddle for the Great Britain Under-18 squad. Paddle is an awesome sport. It's like a mix of tennis and squash. You play it on a smaller enclosed court with padded rackets called paddle rackets. Paddle's usually played in doubles, but you can still have awesome one-on-one rallies, like this one.
It's super fun and really fast-paced, and it's also seen as one of the fastest growing sports in Europe. There's a few things about paddle which sets it apart from regular tennis.
In paddle, to serve, we use an underarm serve technique whilst letting the ball bounce once and letting it come up to about waist height and hit it into the diagonal cross-court box, something like this.
When they serve, if it bounces, then hits the cage, that's out. But if it bounces and hits the wall, that's in.
Once the rally begins, you lose the point if you hit the ball into the net, like this.
You also lose the point if you hit the ball straight into the opponent's glass, like this.
You also lose the point if you let the ball bounce twice on your side.
And lastly, you lose the point if you get hit by the ball.
One of the coolest things about paddle is how you can use the wall strategically. You can either rebound it off your own wall, or you can let it bounce naturally off the wall and play it.
To get into the under-18 GB squad, we train really hard with our dad, a lot of hours a week, and it's really paying off.
One of our best achievements to date was playing in the Pro-Am Paddle Tour, where top GB players get to play alongside celebrities. I also got the opportunity in that to play with John Sands, who's the world number 17, so a really good experience for me and one that I'll never forget even in like 20 years. I'll still remember that day. It's an awesome day.
Well, next for me on my paddle journey is I would really like to get into the GB seniors squad and play really big paddle tournaments for GB.
There's also talk of paddle being an Olympic sport in 2032, which would be absolutely amazing and would be an honour to play for Team GB in the Olympics.
Yeah, I would really like that. It would just make all my dreams come true. My advice for people that want to get into paddle is just find a group of friends that you really get on with well and you just mix in with them and have a laugh, because it's always good fun to have a partner that you just really bond with off the court as well.
Wow, they are awesome. So, in other big news this week, the Prime Minister Sir Keir Starmer announced the arrival of a new Downing Street pet, a Siberian kitten called Prince, a bit like this one. The news got us thinking, who are some of the other pets who have lived at one of the most famous addresses in the country? Well, Prince joins two other cats who currently live at number 10, Jojo, who was already the Prime Minister's family cat, and Larry, who was a rescue cat, adopted by Downing Street staff and has been Chief Mouser since 2011. He's an internet sensation with thousands of followers online. He's seen 6 Prime Ministers come and go, along with a few of their pets, including Rishi Sunak's Labrador Nova, who didn't get on too well with Larry, and Boris Johnson's dog Dylan, who reportedly was very mischievous and chewed priceless furniture. But animals in Downing Street are nothing new. There have been Chief Mouser cats dating back to the 16th century, and one of the earliest dogs in residence was Sir Winston Churchill's poodle, named Rufus. At FYI, we love to hear from you. So when we heard that 2 viewers had started their own business making plastic-free skincare products, we had to check it out. Here's Iara with more info.
In the UK, we throw away around 1.7 billion pieces of plastic every week. That's around 60 for every household. But it's not just the packaging that contains plastic. Sometimes it's the products themselves. Products like lip balm. Sisters Charlotte and Florence wanted to tackle the problem, so they started a business making their very own plastic-free lip balms.
What gave you the idea for Nature's Shield?
So we learnt that most shop-bought lip balms contain microplastics and chemicals in them. So microplastics are really dangerous for the environment because they can go into animals' stomachs. It can damage their digestive system, which then causes them to die.
These tiny plastic particles can be very dangerous. Because they can't be broken down and digested, they can cause big problems if they get into an animal's body. Scientists are now investigating how they can affect our health as well.
And how did you feel realising that this is what happens just because of lip balms?
We were quite shocked because we didn't know it had that sort of impact.
So how do you make lip balm? Well, with their mum supervising, they're showing me how.
So we get our beeswax just down the road.
Next we need the cocoa butter.
So this cocoa butter gives it the scent of cocoa, basically.
It smells really nice.
So these lip balms have no plastic, no chemicals and no microplastics, which is really good for the environment and humans.
And they're not artificial, they're just more natural, and they also come in a recycled tin.
And what do you use to make the flavours and the scents?
We use also different sorts of natural essential oils.
It's really important here to get the right amount. At this point we need our mum to help because it gets very hot. We just need to leave it to cool for a second.
Moment of truth. It smells really nice. Their ingenious business idea has also won them a local Young Entrepreneur Award for their lip balm.
And to top it all off, it's not even bad for the environment. Thanks, Charlotte and Florence.
Nice one, guys. So did you guess this week's fake news or fact? The donkeys in Italy who were seen sporting striped socks to protect them from biting insects is fact. A fundraising officer at a donkey sanctuary in Italy posted on social media that their donkeys were in need of stripy socks because research shows that stripes are more effective at repelling flies than plain colours. The post ended up going viral and 180 pairs of socks were sent in. So now there are a bunch of very fashionable donkeys. That's about it from us this week, but catch us next week for more of the top news stories. Bye!